Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're back at the survival tutorial series. Today we're gonna make the inventory system. We made the inventory system, but I mean the inventory GUI. The instead of having all our stuff right here, it shows what we have here right here, and instead it's gonna be in the entire screen with images with images everything on it with icons and images, and when you have your mouse it tells about the item and all that stuff. Before we start, uh, we last time when I was debugging the game and trying to damage player, I forgot that I have this for damage player, so I made another one here in 8. I'm gonna remove that because I don't need it right now because I made the same thing. I already have that long time ago here. So let me save here. Already I have the thing that increase and decrease health. Okay, whoops. So let's start by going to the widget folder we created and make a slot underscore widget. The slot widget, actually, let me make another folder inside the widget called sub widget, because we're gonna use this to anything in the sub widget will be like the child of a main widget. The main widget, I mean the UI or inventory. The slot is basically it shows the contents or it shows the item. And once we create the slot widget, we go to the hierarchy and delete the canvas panel. We don't need that. Delete. Now we don't have that. I see here full screen. Do it on desired. No, not desired on screen. Desired. Here. Since now there is nothing here, you can see anything. You know there is no square that tells you the thing. Now after you delete the canvas panel and set the view to desired, you type in the palette size box. This will fix the slot into a specific size. See here, width and height override there is. Type in 100 by 100 pixels. These so that it won't get smaller or larger than this size, the specific size we inputted. I'm gonna make it 200 by 200. I don't know how big it is on the screen because there's nothing to compare with here. Compile and save. Now we add a border so that we can see the slot. I'm gonna give it a black color, and with a slight transparency, like that. Yeah, we also add an image, or actually, instead of border, we create a button, so that when we click on it, it shows like a toolbox where you want to drop or you want to equip or something like this. This button is gonna be a slot button. Right now I'm gonna leave it like this and create. Now add a vertical box so we can put our information inside here. The vertical box will have stuff in it. You will see what I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add an image and a text inside. The image you fill it here, make it fill. Notice white filling. You see in the vertical box here, you will see this horizontal alignment and stuff. Put those like this so that will fill up. Now we have it. This how it should be, like this. Make the justification for the text block to centered. I'm gonna color it in black color so that it's gonna be visible since the background is a bit white. Now, if we don't realize the image is not exactly square shaped, it needs to be square so that the image shown, the icon of the item, won't be stretched. This is how to do it. You need another size box. Yes, another. Inside the put it inside the vertical box above the text block. You drag the image inside. After you add a size box, drag the image inside the size box so that, and make the alignment as centered, horizontally center and vertically center, so it looks like this. So when I add an image, I'm not gonna add it directly here. It will gonna be added immediately. It's gonna be like this. The item name is gonna be here. This is the item name, and that's the icon. The icon is a bit small. I'm gonna increase its size. So when we change the icon texture, we need to put the image size, specify the image size. I'm gonna put it like this, 128 by 128, like that, so that it will be always this size. Now, this is just an example here. We compile and save, and make the text block and the image, yes, and the image is variable. Both of them here is a variable and is variable up there. Also, let's rename the image 89 into item icon, and the text block to be item name. No, you know what? Item display name, because you're displaying the name here. Now when you compile and save, you go to graph, add a variable. This variable is gonna be slot, not just slot because it's saying an error here, already in use. Not slot actually. You create a variable here and call it slot ID. Also make another one and call it inventory copy. Both are gonna be integers. I make those editable and expose both of them on spawn. Here, see here, expose those. So the inventory copy is gonna be an array. The array, we're not gonna add it manually here. Basically, when we create the slot widget, it takes the whatever the inventory is. So I'm making it here instead of directly taking from the players, is because so that we can use it for when we want to make storage boxes or something, chests. When we make chests, you can use the same slot widget and just give it the array of the inventory that the storage box has, or if the player has inventory, we can take from it. It has actually here inventory. So we're gonna take it and put it here, like this. Here on event tech, you bring the item display name as get, also the item icon as get. We now do set image, or actually set brush, not image. Wait, it's opposite side here. Item, from the item icon, do set brush, like that. Right click and in brush and split it. Make the image size as 128 by 128. Let me move this and put the other side so that we can do stuff there. And the image here, you'll see what we're gonna add. We do get item info, like that. Where is the inventory copy? Do that, get, and slot ID. This will get the ID of the item that the slot is assigned to. So when the slot want to show I want to show, let me show an example here. We attach multiple here. Just imagine that we have a lot of items in the game. See here, now there are 4 items here in the inventory. We assign it to slot 2, so it will return the slot 2 and show the image, the icon and the text of the slot 2. So the ID is also 2 here. Delete those because we don't want it to be here. Now you split the get item info and attach the slot icon, and here the display item you just do set text here and attach this to the string here. You drag those so that we can organize a bit. Okay, now we made it so that it shows the icon and the item name. Now it would work. Let me put an example here. And right now we haven't made the actual inventory yet. We just made the slot. Now let me show you. You go to user created and drag in the slot. See here? Now here you can put the slot ID and inventory array. Yeah. Right now I can't put it from here. You need to do stuff with it. Hold on. See the slot widget here? We're gonna actually in the inventory add an array of slots. So the slots is gonna be like 1, 2, 3. That's all that stuff. It's gonna make a for loop that will spawn in the items and just update and just set each one of them to the array. You see here on event construct, we're gonna do a for loop, but now since it's just a test for the slot, we're just gonna do this instead. Take the player ref and get inventory. Here set inventory copy to be the inventory of the player. And see here from here we make the ID, like for example it shows, let's leave it at 0. So basically this we're gonna take the inventory copy and display, where is it? Yes, when you have a lot of items in the inventory, it will display at slot 0. So if you have 0, it will display 0 here. So when I go play here right now, there is nothing in my inventory. That's why it's like this. So when I go take an item, see now it's showing item test. I drop it, I take another thing. Okay, for some reason it stopped working. Yes, that's why. Because that's the reason why you have to be careful with all that stuff. You see here, that's on event construct, so it's gonna show the inventory right at the beginning. So what is best to do is an event tick, something like this. Here it says item test. Now it's still showing item test. Now this is beef. This is an apple. This is coconut. And when I exit, see all these errors, because when we remove an item from inventory, it basically does not exist. So we have to do something that it will show, it will like ignore when there's nothing in inventory. So here, let me show you here. In the slot widget here, only do this if it's valid. See, we do is valid index like this before trying to set the image and stuff. If it's not valid, we set those into like nothing. Let me show you. you do this. You copy paste those and set the image to nothing here, and the text will be nothing too. Also, the tint will be transparent, so that it will not it would not show you a like a white box that where is the image supposed to be. Also, one last thing, you see when you because it's clickable when you're in inventory. Now see, it's just a plain button right now because there's nothing in the inventory. So what gonna do? It disable the button when there is nothing in the inventory. So when you open the inventory and you click on it and shows the toolbox and press drop, it drops like nothing. It does not make sense. So what you're gonna do is take the button on the, if it's valid, we set enable here to be true. At the bottom there, it will be false. Nope. Here is gonna be false. So now, when I play, it's grayed out. When I take an item, it shows. See, this is how it should work. When you take an item, you can press it and do stuff. When you don't have an item in that slot, it will be disabled. See now, we made this. Let me delete the slot test. You see how big it is? It's really huge for an inventory. So I'm gonna cut its size in half. Where is the size box here? We make it 100 by 100. It's a bit now it's a bit what should I call it? Big. I mean not big. It's small, but it's everything is squeezed together. Let me make it small so that everything would fit. We put the size to be 8 like this, and change the size to 64 by 64 like this. Now I think that's how it should be. See now when I play, it's still big, but it's big. It's like better than before. Here, this is the coconut, this is the apple, and this is the item test. This is the evil item. And now see, why is it? How does it know which image it's showing? I'm gonna show you why. How it does it know? So basically, it takes the inventory, the player's inventory, and store it in the slot widget. And the slot widget, it sets image from the information you get from the ID of the slot. When you see this is at slot 0. If I set this to 1, it will take the second slot. See, when I see, nothing happened when I took it. It will only show the second slot I took instead of first. So you can just mess around with this. One thing, so that that's unnecessary that I just made here, you can just disable is editable and expose on spawn on the inventory copy, because we don't need the inventory to be here. We only need it to be changed right here, so that it won't mess up. See, the reason I put as event tech because when for example, you have items in your inventory, it can update and change. So now let me delete all of this stuff and remove the item slot from here, and let's start by making the inventory. Now you create, not in the sub widget, in the actual widget here, create a widget blueprint called inventory widget. This will have like a box here, and all the slots are inside. First you create a border, change it to a better color, So like this. Add a vertical box inside. Now when you add a vertical box, add a text. Name it inventory. Player inventory. Yes. And not and add a scroll box. Make the size of the scroll box to be filled. Add a uniform grid panel inside the scroll box. And we'll check how many slots we have in our inventory, the max items. We have 20 here, so we make 20 of those slots. Add the slot widget inside the uniform grid panel. We'll see a small slot here. We copy paste multiple time, move those like that. Now we moved it like this. We can do this. See, we can copy more. You see, you can use these arrows to drag and put it the way you like it. When you can do this actually, you put 4 slots here and like 2 slots. You can make like a place for armor or something like this. Equipments. I'm gonna just make it a simple inventory. See now it's not aligned perfectly. We not do. Let's do this. We center the alignment and give a slot padding. Yes, like this, so that there is space between. It's a bit much. I'm gonna reduce it to 5. Now we copy those, and I'm just trying to fill the entire thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, like this. Now we do this. Come on. Select all of them and copy and click on the panel. Paste. Now you move those down. While you select all of them, don't select the old ones just select the one that you just copied. Here the row just increase to 1. Now we have 12. We do the same thing. Copy and paste the arrow of slots. Now we have how many is this? 18, I think. Yes. Let me make sure. It's 8. All of these are 18. Our inventory can contain up to 20. So I'm gonna make 2 more here. Copy and paste it. Copy it. Go click on the grid panel and paste it. Then bring it down like this. Now we have the inventory. Let me make it smaller because it's a bit much space. Like that. See now the inventory is a bit small compared to the screen. This is the entire screen, this the green box. Now the inventory is a bit small. No, don't worry. In the future episode we're gonna make it like stretch it like this and add crafting down there or up there. Something like this. Now we have this. You can show it. See, now this is a bit tedious, but you can now you see here this is slot 0. We leave this as slot 0. Now we increase here. Each one you do that. See, 3, 4. Good luck if you have like a huge inventory with 100 items in it. Since that's gonna be a pain to individually increase the slot idea. Or actually, instead of manually doing that, we can do a for loop when we create the inventory. See here, event construct. We go. What's the parent of all these slots? The uniform grid panel. So we make it the uniform grid panel as is variable so that we can change stuff in it and call it an inventory grid. Env grid. The env grid we get children get children. Where is it? Get children. Get all children. Yes, this one. Let me delete these because we don't need those right now. Make a for loop for each loop. Attach the event construct. So when the inventory turns on, when you show the inventory, and when in the array element here in loop body, we cast to slot so that we can modify the slot, and then give the array index here to set the slot ID, yes, to be the array index, like that, and set inventory copy to be, see, we don't have the player here, so let me make something here for the player so that we can get the information about the player, the reference of the player. Create a sequence here, put the entire code we just made into then 1, and then 0 we do cast to first person character, the player, the actual player. Get player character and promote variable player underscore ref, so we can get the inventory. See here, player ref get, we do here, see, we do here inventory, get inventory, and attach it to inventory copy. So now the slot has all this stuff, but there is something important. We should not do this on event construct, since this is you can do it on event construct, but this one we need to do it on event tick. So we remove this, instead of we make another one. Just copy this again. We're gonna put it only when we turn on the inventory, and make an event tick here, like this. This is how you do it. Attach this. Don't forget. Now let me compile and save. Now we need to create it and to show it on the screen. Where which button are we gonna make it? I'm gonna make it input I. Let me find it. You know what? I'm gonna put keyboard I, because it's gonna annoy me. Keyboard. Why is that showing? Keyboard I. This one. When you press I, it opens the inventory. So it create widget, and make a variable called is inventory open. Make a branch here, so that we add this so that we can toggle between if it's open or not. But if it's not open, you open it. If it's, why do we have this? What's this? Delete. So I type in create widgets or something else. We do it like this. This is a toggle that's better than the flip-flop, and here is off like this. Now from when we turn on when you open the inventory, we create widget. Type in inventory widget and add to viewport. Also promote variable so that we can remove it from inventory. I mean remove it from the screen. Promote to variable here. We call this env widget ref. We do like this. Now we attach this like this. This one remove like this. Come on. Now if the inventory ref is valid, I mean if it exists, you remove it. If it's on screen, you remove it. Like this. See, let me put this down. Remove from parent. Like that. Also, not only if it's open, also we need to check if the player is dead or not. See here, before this, we check if player is not dead. If the player is not dead, you can open the inventory. We almost forgot. I almost forgot to put this here. So if the player is dead, you can't open the inventory like this. See now when I press I, it shows the inventory. If I close, it's basically the toggle. Now if I grab stuff here, I press I. Now we have stuff in inventory. If I pick stuff, you see it's updates. We have all those stuff in the inventory. Later on, we'll replace these weird icons with a better one and give proper models to. But let me try to change something here. You see here. Now this type inventory. Since we are where is the here? Yes. Since we are setting the inventory constantly, we're setting the how we're like setting the inventory copy constantly on event tick, and the inventory when we drop items we delete it. We delete the slot completely. We can't have inventory where let me do this, where the item test is empty and the one next to it is filled with stuff. See when I, for example, where is the item test here? If I drop it, it all moves and fills its place. It's like our arc, but without the what's called the. It's like arc survival evolved, but without the mass and weight mechanics, where you can't lift a lot of stuff. You know, we made this. We basically finished the inventory UI. Can close it like this. And drop all stuff, open it, and it works perfectly. Perfectly, but we're not done. We need to show the player's mouse. So we create here. Set input mode to game and UI. The player controller is that's actual player. The widget to focus is gonna be this one, the inventory, and do not hide cursor during capture. Also, set show mouse cursor to be true. Now we copy the player controller. Nope, not commenting it. Copy it here. We type in game only. It will show set input mode to game only, so that when we leave the inventory, you get proper player controlling. And set show mouse cursor to be false. Set show mouse cursor to be false. Now if I open the inventory, I have mouse control. I can still move the player's head like this. I can still move, but now we can actually click on this to do stuff like that. We click and drop or eat or something like this. See, what I'm planning is when now instead of scrolling through all the items, in the inventory, instead I'm gonna have a slot that when you like here, see, click here. What happened? I right click and then something disappeared. Anyway, I want it so that when the player clicks on that, the toolbox appear here, and you can drop it you click drop or equipped. If you press equipped, it will attach to a hotbar down there. I still haven't added this for next episodes. So again disappeared. What happened? For some reason things are disappearing. Anyway, so that's all we're gonna make today. We made the inventory UI. Finally, next episode we're probably gonna complete it. We're gonna make a toolbox that appears, and maybe slots if we have time. So that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.